raw, straight from the people themselves from around the world. I think we got callers from Canada, Texas. The phone lines are lighting up, but hey, we got an hour ahead of us. We want to get to your UFO sightings. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. Lots of stuff been going down at Third Phase of Moon this past week. Hey, we even debunked our own video. A video that was submitted by a guy from, he goes by the name Government Official Nor. Apparently this video came in from Italy. And then we did our research, and then a lot of people around the world did the research, and it didn't quite seem what it appeared. And we're happy to say that, hey, when the people out there want to point out what a real UFO is and what's not, hey, we want to thank everybody out there that, share this. Let's just, it seems like we're getting a double echo over here, so we'll see if we could reset. Third Phase of Moon back on live, taking your calls from around the world. It's been a busy week, like I said, and I'm glad we got the lines up and going right now. Third Phase of Moon. Oh, wow. Just over the past couple minutes of technical difficulty, the phone lines have been building up. The world's been building up. Something big's going to go down. Did you see the debates last night? Wow, what a joke that was. They're not asking the big questions. I bet you if somebody wanted to win the seat for the president of the United States, all they'd have to do is say, I'm going to open up the vaults of what we know about free energy, and we're going to give it to the world. And you know what? That person is going to be the next president of the United States. But no, it's going around in circles, people, big circles. Are we going to get the truth? That's what Third Phase of Moon's all about. Let's go to callers. Right now, we got people that have been hanging on all the way from Canada. Let's get started. Third Phase of Moon, Blake Cousins here. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome to the show, Canada.
Hi, Blake.
Yeah, how's everything sounding over there on your end?
It sounds real good, bud.
All right, man. Hey, welcome to the show all the way from Canada. This is quite amazing.
Yeah, this is my first time calling into any type of show, period. And I've been watching your guys' channel, and I'm just right into ufology in the last couple of years. And I got some information about this crash up here in Canada that I just come across last week, just randomly. You know that crash up on top of Jackhead Indian Reserve?
The Jackhead Indian Reserve First Nation Manitoba crash. Yeah, we reported this on breaking news when it came in approximately, I don't know, it's been 5-6 months now. We broke the news, and yeah, they shut everything down. It was a black media blackout. What's the new news that you've heard?
Well, I happened to run across I used to be a school teacher, and I come across an ex-student. I can't really name where he works because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But I will tell you he works for one of the top military people, like in Area 51, who produce weaponry, if that gives you an idea. And
wow.
He assured me and said he said it was not, I repeat, it was not an aircraft that went down up there. It was definitely not an aircraft. And he says as well, whatever the military, I don't know, do they use the F-16s, F-14s? He says they come through right afterward, which is not common for Canadian airspace, but it is when those UFOs go down, as we all know.
So did he explain to you what he thought, what it really was?
No, the young guy could not tell me exactly because his father is, can't say a lot because he's high ranking in this company. But he says that he told his son it was not an airplane that went down up there. Just so everyone knows. It's just like I live in Nova Scotia, and I know how the reservations work up here and stuff like that, and no one just goes in there and closes down a reservation over an air crash, like an airplane crash, and our news would just say it's an airplane down, but no one did. They shut her down, and I followed you guys constantly to see what people were saying. And I can tell you that he said was not a plane down.
Well, that's not surprising. We spoke to multiple eyewitnesses from the area, and they experienced how heavy armed the military over there can be in its own sense.
Yeah.
And some people are saying that is pretty simple. I think there's about 300 people that live on that reservation. It's a mass area. And it's not too hard to conceive that they paid people off and just told them keep quiet. And they pretty much, otherwise the alternative wasn't so something you wouldn't want to consider, I'd imagine.
Exactly. When you live up in those isolated people, I don't know if people realize around the United States and spots, but we get very harsh winters up here, and money's not an easy commodity up around here. So to hush people up with some money would be a very easy task.
Absolutely. And when it comes down to this kind of sensitive information, I imagine the government's operating in a way that's protocol. Let me ask you, how far are you away from this reservation? I still have yet to have somebody get there.
Well, I'm actually as far east as you can get. That's where Nova Scotia is, as far on the map of Canada. Now they would be midway across Canada, between BC and Nova Scotia, midway. Very up north in harsh winters,
Yeah,
and,
we talked to. I wanted to say, getting into the investigation, I received a phone number from the Jack Head Reservation office itself, and they gave me a name to the chief of the reservation, and I made a cold call, and I got through. It's quite interesting, and there's a misconfusion. He said he's the chief, and then he says the chief is out. So I'm not sure if I was speaking to the chief or not. The big question is, who was this guy? And his question seemed like he said he would have reported it to Third Phase of Moon if there was a flying, UFO that crashed there. I find that kind of hard to believe that some guy in Manitoba already knows about Third Phase of Moon, and if it did, he would have called us up right away. There's some suspicion in his response, and the
for sure.
interviews all up on Third Phase.
Yeah, I noticed when you spoke with him, he spoke as though he was the chief, but he wasn't. And then some people got, a little confused as to how that conversation went. But I can also, aside from that information, I can tell you, my brother lives up around London, Ontario, and I see you guys posted a lady who put these 14 lights up in the sky over London. I used to live there. And my brother said he came out on the water one night where he lives, and he watched something turn in a hard arc and shoot like sparks out of the back and take off. He said it wasn't a jet, it wasn't a plane, it couldn't turn and accelerate like that. So he's witnessed things up over that lake. And just last night I saw two events. I believe in Robert Bingham. I watch him a lot, and I practice his theories on how to summon these whatever we're summoning up there. And within 5 seconds of me doing this, I seen two shooting objects, one go one direction, and then I asked it again to come and show itself if it was it again. It went the other direction. Whether it was a shooting star or not, I just found it was funny. Within 5 seconds, this happened.
Wow.
But anyway, I continue.
Crazy.
I continue. I believe in him. I like that, and I don't care what people say about your show. You guys take photos. You take it from the public. The people make up their own minds. Whether some of it's CGI and some's not, I know some of it's real, and I know they exist, and that's all that matters. And I know one day I'm going to see the real deal. The more I look to the sky, and people just need to keep looking to the sky.
Hey man, you're you're exactly right. Some have slipped through the cracks. These UFO videos that we've put up on Third Phase of Moon YouTube, and unfortunately, we don't get it right all the time. It's not easy. We get about 12 videos a day and probably about 300 emails a day asking questions, and a lot of people sharing their experience. And yeah, sometimes there's people out there that want to pull a fast one on us, and sometimes they look really good. I don't think anybody in this world of UFOs will guarantee 100% every single time they show a UFO that's extraterrestrial or not. You just can't get it right all the time.
That's right. It's unfortunate everybody's too tied up with their daily lives these days that the government can sneak things out behind our backs and we don't even know it, or they build things in plain sight and you don't even notice it. But I know this stuff exists. I believe in the technology, and I don't know what else to say, but I'm shocked I got through the third phase of the moon. But don't worry about all those people hating on you. If they don't believe in it, I don't know why they're looking at your site. There's other places to go. So don't sit on there trash talking people's sites, man. I know there's a lot of people believe in it, just like me. We're not crazy. That stuff's up there, and whether half of it's human being driven or it's extraterrestrial. You had a gentleman call up one night. He claims he was taken and abducted. He claims that the souls, we are vessels, and that they propel the ships with our vessels and our emotions. And I believe that guy, and I look up in the sky at night, and I hope to have that experience before I die. And
Absolutely.
I back Paul T. Hellyer 110%. He's one of the best men that ever come through for Canada, and it's too bad people won't listen to him. And it's just a shame that the powers that be are ruining everything for like the honest people trying to make it through this life.
Yeah, we've had Paul T. Hellyer on Third Phase of Moon, and Canadian Defense Minister, he believes we're not alone. Hey, you know what? Just stand by. We're going to be getting remember that caller that called in? He goes by the name of F1. He said he was discharged for reporting a UFO while he was on a Navy vessel. Do you recall that conversation? He said afterwards when we're on, he went live for the first time on a radio show a week or so goes by, and next thing you know, he's being buzzed by Black Hawk helicopters pointing at him and doing the shooting signal like, busted, we know you. We know where you are. Do you remember that? Yeah,
no,
well, he's on the show. Yeah,
and I also got you guys play a lot of that harp, and my sister lives in St. Thomas, and they had this weird looking ring of fire. It looked like a rainbow of fire flame clouds, and they blamed it on the smoke from a fire that's coming somewhere in this somewhere, but it looks like that harp type of stuff you guys show. It looked really weird.
Yeah, man, that this harp stuff is going quite rampant right now around the world. Switzerland, we're getting it all over the Mideast. A few people have filmed the event at the same time. Let's this harp stuff is quite incredible and scary at the same time. What's going on? We got F1 joining us from San Diego. F1, hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's up, Blake?
Hey, man, we're just talking candidly before we went live on the show. And you said there's a couple things you wanted to go over, but I wanted to get your response. I know we put up 2 videos of the conversations we had. It's up there at Third Phase about how you were discharged from the government. You work for the Navy as a nuclear, what were you, a nuclear technician?
Nuclear power electronics technician.
Yeah, then you wanted to report this sighting to the commanding officer over there, and you're discharged later for being a homo, is what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
You know, this is totally illegal. You should be able to be compensated for this. But besides that, what do you think? What was your general take of the comments that were left? You know, there's a lot of kooks out there that just want to be stupid on the comments section below on our Third Phase of Moon. But we're not here to edit. It's freedom of speech, in my opinion, so we let it roll. But what's your opinion of I think the public responded to you in a positive way. They believed your story. I believe it.
Well, you know, you should, because it's true. What I dislike, I just try to keep. I'm trying to keep it positive. You know, for people like myself, for years and years and actually decades, we had to try to figure this all out by ourselves. And then there are people like yourself and other people that I've spoken with that have done things like Third Phase is just amazing now that there's such an availability to even not only confirm all these doubts and questions and give us a place to talk for those that have been dealing with this for decades. I'm in my late 50s, and I've been dealing with this since I was a child. What I would really appreciate is, you know, I'm glad of freedom of speech and all that, but, you know, time is really short at hand, and especially when you only have an hour on the airwaves, I'd appreciate it if people that are just trying to call up when they're buzzed or just trying to find themselves on the radio, why don't they take a back seat and let the people that really have some information to share? Because I want to let people know for a fact, this has been going on for more years than I could probably be accurate in, and I'm saying not just hundreds, but maybe thousands of years. Now, that with this type of intelligent being in the technology that they have, what don't people understand is what they've already done, how intertwined they are in everything that you do, how they run the government, how they don't put this on the news or TV for a reason, how people are discharged out of the service for reporting something real, and the attitude that they got of so much anger for reporting a truth. People need to really wake up and start at this point. They've been here for a very, very long time. They are incredibly more advanced than we are. They have capabilities that people don't understand. How much do you think they control everything we do? Knowledge is power. People need to wake up. And for example, now I don't think that the government sending all these tanks and different weapons on railroads across the United States, which has been documented over and over again, are to fight them. It's those type of tanks that could only hurt humans, not people with cloaking ability or photon torpedoes or the ability to twist time and space and hop from resonance to resonance. People, quit using this as a big cartoon and really start to get down to the nitty gritty and let the information come out rather than filling up this bitchin' show with a bunch of joke encounters. Everything's great, Jackhead. We know about Jackhead, Manitoba, and everything, and that's bitching. But it's old news. Let's move on. Let's move on to how it affects us. And that's why people from New Jersey sound like they're off their rocker when they're saying they're talking to different races. But that's how advanced it is. And it should be a real wake-up call to people, because the fact that this doesn't make national news when there's so many things going on and so many sightings, you better wonder who's behind our government and how long they've been practicing this and why these weapons that are brand new are being sent to Texas and everywhere in the United States, and safe places are being built when Von Braun has this technology given to him years ago in front of many other people. Do you know if he would have been wrong with the space orbit and how to proceed at what exact millisecond, the whole mission would have been lost. What do you think? It was a lucky guess, guys? Wake up.
Well, you know, F1, you know, some of your statements are provocative, and honestly, the truth hurts sometimes, and you're saying the truth, and people do need to start
People are so lazy. People are so lazy, and that's why we're the perfect target. But that's why we're going to be treated like slaves again, because
I think you're kind of touching on something that, the world domination, the world powers, that's what they want to do. They want to enslave us, have us be the little sheeple, and then they kind of run the world. And it's impossible to compete with these billionaires out there, the Rothschilds, the Wahlbergs, the Rockefellers. It goes on and on. And it's like people like us, the small guys, do have power. Look, we got 250,000 people subscribed right here at Third Phase Moon. People want to generate some kind of power, but it still needs to get bigger. It's not enough. We need millions of people to start getting on board, demanding that this technology be given to us, to the public, to the world. F1, stand by. We're going to get to some callers. Third Phase of Moon Radio, taking your calls from around the world. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. Everybody, this is Blake Cousins. Stand by. We'll be right back.
third phase of moon.
Third phase of moon, taking your calls from around the world. Blake Cousins here. Lots of stuff going on around the world. And people are having the cameras ready. People are getting good shots of UFOs, objects. But what we really want is government officials to come forward. Spill the beans right here, man. Just come on. Tell us. I know there's a lot of people out there like F1 that's been discharged from the military for reporting UFO sightings. And I know F1's not alone. Come forward. Let's collaborate. Let's demand disclosure right here. Third phase of moon. The lines are building up. The people are talking about this presidential debate last night, and I still think the candidates aren't promising what they should be promising to the world and to the United States. Let's get this energy out. This free energy for everybody. We're gonna get to F1. I want to get to F1 a little bit and ask him in regards to his encounter with the military when he was buzzed in San Diego by 2 Black Hawk helicopters. But before we get to F1, these callers are calling in. They want to share some information to us. Let's go to area code 832. You there? You're live, third phase of moon.
Hello, I'm calling from Texas.
Yeah, what area code?
Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I have it written down. I'm sorry, it's just that I got my cell phone. It's 832.
832. Well, you're coming in no problem right now. For some reason, you're not activated on my studio, but hey, Texas, what was your name again?
My name is Jesse.
Hey, Jesse, what's going on over there in Texas? Any UFO sightings lately?
Well, when I was a young kid, I'm going to say back in 72, I must have been 5 years old, and it's kind of a big story. I remember being a child and playing outside in my backyard, and out of nowhere, when I looked into the sky, I saw like 4 or 5 different humongous planets orbiting around me, and I was standing to this real tall figure, and for some reason or another, it just all started coming back to me now that I'm 48 years old. I remember maybe when I was 15 or 16, I was implanted something in the male organs part, and I'm going to tell you in my testicles, and I had this object in me for all my life. And recently, on October of last year, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I remember feeling this little piece of metal still surrounding my testicle area, and it was like the worst day of my life when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Anyway, when I came home, I told the family and my children and everything, and I kept telling them that there was this little piece of metal that was there, and I ended up going to the restroom and I squeezed it out of me, and I saved it in my in a little metal pill bottle. And when I went back, because I go every month now to the hospital to check my PSA level, because it's supposed to be from 0 to 4, and mine was at 750, and it was really high, and it's a miracle that God saved my life. But anyway, I removed this object, and I took it to my cancer specialist, and they told me they couldn't do a biopsy on it because I removed it myself, and it wasn't them. But I have a bunch of those objects still in my spine, and I just went 3 days ago to get 45 minutes. I got 3 sessions of 45-minute, what do they call, MRIs done on my spine. I won't know anything for about another 2 weeks. As far as aliens, abductions, and all that, I know it's happened to me. I remember it. I remember seeing myself laying down in a bed and seeing grays all around me working on me. I remember seeing one when I was probably about 22 years old at my Uncle Frank's house. I was coming out of the restroom. When I opened the restroom door, he was standing in the hallway just looking at me, and without even opening his mouth, he told me, kind of like, I guess, telepathic, he told me to prepare myself for death and my family. And within an hour after him saying that, my grandfather passed away. And I don't know how I saw him. I don't know how he went away. Like, he's there 1 second, the next second he's gone. But I saw his whole face. I saw his body. It's hard to explain it. A lot of people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you the God honest truth, what I saw and what's happened to me. Ever since I removed this metal object that was embedded in me, I still have it, and it's a piece of metal. It looks like an implant, or like I don't know how to explain it, like some little tracking device, I guess, or I don't know. But since I removed it, I seem to be doing a lot good now in my health. My PSA level's gone down. Of course, I know it's the power of God helping me too, but I really feel a whole lot better now that I've taken that thing out. And
Jesse,
once those
let me ask you
reports
this,
come
Jesse.
back, yes, sir.
You said there's an MRI and there's these metallic objects in your spine or in your back.
Yes, they're in my lower disc area.
And really, is there medical evidence via X-rays or the MRI that show that there's these anomalies in your body?
Yes, sir. When I was first before I was diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer, I was always complaining of my back hurting me. So I went to a chiropractor, and of course, before he pops your back, he takes X-rays in case you got herniated disc or something. He doesn't want to hurt you more than what you already are. So
okay, Jesse. You know what? Jesse, if you need any help, we might be able to help you out with that. We have Dr. Roger Lear was a good friend to Third Phase Moon. We did a couple documentaries with him, the Alien Human Project 1 and 2. And unfortunately, Dr. Roger Lear passed away about a year ago. And pretty much the alien extraction of these implants have kind of come to a stop since, but we have connections that could actually remove these, analyze these implants if all we need is evidence, and they would actually fly you out to their offices. So you know what, if you want to contact us at Third Phase,
I have one. I have one. The one I removed, I have it saved in a little medicine bottle.
Well, you know what, that's not going to help us out. We need to have it extracted by these surgeons from the source, so we know it's not tainted. That's why, unfortunately, you could have exactly something that's extraterrestrial in origin, but yeah, we need to get it out of the body. So we know we could, if you want to send it out to Third Phase Moon, our contact is in the about page on our Third Phase Moon, our email address. Send me those MRIs. I could send you my P.O. box so you could send me this element. Maybe we could get it analyzed. But if you're interested in going under the knife, getting these things removed, finding out what these things are.
I want to do that, but since I have cancer, I know you're not supposed to get oxygen in the body, because then my cancer would spread like wildfire. And the one I did pull out, I squeezed it out, but these are embedded in my spine. I have X-rays of them, and I went through the MRI because the cancer research hospital that I'm going to now, they said they couldn't use the X-rays off the chiropractor. They needed their own MRIs done. So I just went and done them, but I won't get a report back for 2 weeks, and then I'll get those.
All right, Jesse. We'll be hanging out right here at Third Phase Moon. We're not going anywhere. We've been around for years, taking your reports from around the world. And you know what? Send me that thing that was in your body, whatever it is. We could get that tested.
It's in a little medicine bottle, and I'll send it to you. Since they couldn't give me a diagnosis, they wouldn't take it because I took it out myself. But I have it saved up. I have it wrapped in cotton, and it's saved up in a little medicine pill bottle.
All right, Jesse. Hey, man, thanks for joining us. We look forward to hearing from you. I know it's pretty sensitive to come out and tell, you know what, call in next week. I want to hear more of your abduction encounter. All right, Jesse? We appreciate that.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Appreciate that. We got a caller, and we want to get to every caller tonight, and we only got a few minutes left. So if you got a sighting, you want to report or statement, well, let's keep it down to a certain amount of time so we could get everybody in. I know people have some amazing things they want to share. I see a familiar area code, 808 from Hawaii. You there? Let's bring back F1. Unfortunately, we're having these technical difficulties. There's a lot of callers that we're trying to call in, but now they're just kind of dropping out. F1, you there?
And that's really weird about Jesse's story. Really quickly, I have maybe the same exact things. It's so freaking weird. When I was a little kid, My Uncle Frank told me, get ready, there's going to be a death. An hour later, they called from the East Coast and my grandfather had died. I have something wrong with my back that's not permitting me to walk. I couldn't take an MRI because I kept twitching. So you have to be completely still for an MRI. That was really weird. Jesse's very legit. I'm really stoked that he has the ability to call in and peace of mind and because it is a very sensitive time in his life. But a lot of parallels with that guy. I'm just very blown away by that. It's interesting. I don't know what the problem is tonight, but it's like, it seems like everywhere I go, when I have something to say, and it's like there's some sort of force that blocks it, and I hope it's just not me.
Yeah, you know what, Fun? It seems that could be a possibility. Let me ask you about this encounter with the Blackhawks. Have they been back since a week and a half or so ago?
I don't even want to tell you the truth, but I moved. I actually moved from a house that I was going to retire in, and I moved because
so now
they came by the next day again, and we left. We put our house up for sale, a $1 million beach house. We put it up for sale, and we moved.
Now you're at an undisclosed location.
You better fucking believe it, brother.
What about this video? You said you shot this video of this Black Hawk encounter.
Yeah, you know what, bro? It's like this. Like I told you, when you asked me if I'm going to send it, and I said probably not, this is why. They came back the next day and just stood there. And, I mean, there was no mistake this time. And we left the house 2 days later, and we just moved our last truckload into our new place 2 days ago.
Wow. So you moved just because of this intimidation?
You better believe it. You better believe it. If you would have seen what I encountered for just reporting what I saw with my own eyes, and the fact that they were willing to take $1 million education as a nuclear power electronics technician and reduce me to a pseudo homosexual, no, it's not. I thought it had mellowed out a little bit, but when Blackhawks start coming to your house 2 days in a row, and your son's looking at you, your beautiful children, and they're going, "What the F is going on, Pop?" That's when it's time to get the hell away. That's why I haven't been on the show for the last 2 weeks.
Well, F1, just, yeah.
That's how real it is, people. Wake up, dude. I had to move. I had to move my family. This is how real it is, people. Wake the F up.
Wow, absolutely. You know,
I'm sorry to be so angry, Blake, but you know what, dude? People are full of crap. Do you think this is a gosh dang darn cartoon channel, people? This man, Blake, and his brother, Brent, are putting their ass on the line for you. So quit the crap, use it properly, and I'm sorry to be so angry, but this is no joke, idiots. Wake up.
Hey, that's a man that doesn't sound very happy with what's going on.
Real quick, wait. No. My son's right here. Was it true or not? Is it true? Did we have to move? Yeah, he just ran in his room and locked the door.
Hey, well, let's see if we could bring in. We're getting a caller from, in the state of Hawaii. Are you there? 808.
Hey, Blake, I'm sorry for being so angry, but it's been a pain in the ass.
Hey, it's okay, man. I just want to get every caller in, get everybody's
statements in.
Yep. Nope. Hey, I believe you, brother. Hey, 808. You there? Maybe we got to stand by for a little bit. Everybody stand by. We'll be right back.
We have an unidentified flying object.
Wow. Blake Cousins here, third phase of moon. Hey, that's why it comes in right here at third phase. I know F1 has a lot on his mind. He's been through a lot. You can't blame the guy for having this kind of emotions. And it is what it is. You get buzzed by Blackhawks and military pointing at you. I don't think you'd be in the best moods about where this thing is going. Let's see if we can get to this phone calls and see if we can fix this phone line action right now. Let's go to area code 808. You there?
Hey, Blake, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I hear you. Maybe if you get closer to the mic or your telephone, wherever you call in, I barely hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, Blake. Hey, my name's Dino. How are you?
Hey, Dino. Hey, thanks, man. What island are you on?
I'm on the Big Island, Kealakekua, South Dakota.
Oh, right on. So what compels you to call into third phase, and welcome?
Oh, I just started started following you guys a couple of years ago, and it stuck with me. So you guys are doing a bang-up job, and you're definitely getting people informed out there, and I'm pretty impressed with you guys. You're doing a really good job.
Okay, appreciate it, man, and thanks for calling in. We try our best, and it's exciting and humbling at the same time. Let me ask you, I know Hawaii, I've seen multiple UFOs here. Have you?
Yeah, I've actually probably 10 to 12 in my lifetime. I mean, that's counting the ones that I've really seen.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much about the same right here. Me and Brandon witnessed probably about a dozen or so. It's a pretty cool number. Tell us about your most exciting one.
Well, I'll tell you, the most exciting has probably been two. One was the Hudson Valley sighting. That was back in 1983. And there were thousands of people, Blake, and it was the first time, and it was the infamous triangle, flew right over my house. But I actually saw it twice, and I could tell you a few things about, what happened in that situation, but we probably don't have the time. The other one was just recently down in Santa Ana, California.
Really?
And, oh, absolutely. I was driving along, I was a long-haul trucker. I just moved out here about 8 months ago. And so going north on the I-5, I pulled into Santa Ana to take a break, and I look up, and I'm looking at all these lights, and I'm thinking, wow, the constellations are pretty bright tonight. And so I was pretty tired walking down the street, and I kept looking up, and I'm thinking, wait a second, something's not right, because the light was just different. And anyway, so my confirmation came when I turned around the corner, and there was about 12 or 14 people taking pictures up in the sky. And then I realized, but, I've had so many that now it doesn't even excite me anymore. So, it excites me. But my whole thing now is basically, like F1 gets pretty excited, and I can understand that, especially for new people. New sightings are tough. It really kind of racks your world. But the thing is, people have to understand is that, especially with the government, with the amount of people who are having sightings and the way they're being put onto the internet, onto YouTube, we have to understand that we can't empower them anymore by being upset, okay? Disclosure is something that a little brother or a little sister does when they steal the candy from it. And this is the way we have to look at this now. They're not empowered anymore. They're losing that, okay? So we have to understand that we are the ones who empower it. This is not anything unusual. These things happen, and they're happening for a reason. So we have to educate. You guys are doing a great job, and so is a lot of other guys out there. But we really need to understand that the more that we ask for disclosure from the government, the more that we get upset at them, the more empowered they are. So to make them weaker, we just have to go on with what we know. And there's nothing unidentified anymore. Everything is identified. Everything is clear to us. So I don't need the government to tell me, or I don't need the government to wake up one day and say, well, we're going to tell Dino what's going on, because I already know what's going on. So the day of disclosure, I'm not going to be too excited about anything except the fact that I'm going to say, well, what took them so long, But anyway, in a nutshell, I just want to call in and say hi to you guys and let you guys know you're doing a hell of a job. And, there's going to be a lot going on here in the next few years, maybe even sooner, I think. But
hey, Dino, appreciate the call in. And, maybe we could look forward to meeting you one of these days. You know what we look like. And, man, have your cameras ready, though.
I hang out down the corner. Maybe someday we'll get a cup of coffee or something, huh?
There you go. Hey, and, man, I know to you, seeing a UFO is no big deal after seeing over 12 of them in your life. But, have your cameras ready, because we always like to wake people up, because sometimes they just don't get it. And these videos and people that share their encounters on Third Phase of the Moon have woken up a lot of people that, hey, there's something really going on. This past month has been kind of crazy with this HARP thing and talking with people from around the world and their responses and capturing the exact same thing, this phenomenon, UFO phenomenon's happening, man. So have your camera ready. And Dino, hey, thanks for calling in, man.
All right, Blake, you take care. I'll call in another time. We'll talk some more. Huh?
Absolutely. Appreciate it. You know what, everybody? That's Third Phase of Moon Radio for you. Live, raw, as it comes in. We're here every Friday night, 12 midnight if you're in New York, 9 p.m. Los Angeles time, 6 p.m. Pacific right here in Hawaii every Friday night. Always go to Third Phase of Moon. We usually put up videos as they come in, 3-4 times a week. It's quite exciting right here at Third Phase Moon. Everybody keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone. Blake Cousins. We'll see everybody again next time.